Nephrons are the structural as well as functional unit of kidney. Nephrons, millions of nephrons are present in kidney, and these nephrons, they forms the structural as well as the functional unit of kidney. So each nephron, it consists of these following part. That means first part, that is Malpighian body, Malpighian body. So the Malpighian body means it consists of two more parts, that is Bowman's capsule and glomerulus. Okay, so we can say that Malpighian body of nephron, it consists of Bowman's capsule. Bowman's capsule means it is a cup shaped structure. Bowman's capsule means it is a cup shaped structure. Bowman's capsule, it is a cup shaped structure. And glomerulus, glomerulus means these blood vessels. Okay, the blood vessels. Okay, that blood vessels which present inside the Bowman's capsule, that is known as glomerulus, and Bowman's capsule means it is a cup shaped structure or the beginning part of this nephron, that is known as Bowman's capsule. Then second part, that is renal tubule. Renal tubule means they consist of small tubes or tubular structure or small tubes. So this renal tubule, it consists of PCT, DCT and loop of Henle. PCT means proximal convoluted tubule, and DCT means distal convoluted tubule. So PCT means proximal convoluted tubule, and DCT means distal convoluted tubule and loop of Henle. So the PCT means it is known as proximal convoluted tubule, that means just below the Bowman's capsule, or Bowman's capsule continues as a long tubular structure, that is known as proximal convoluted tubule. Then DCT, distal convoluted tubule, the tube which is away from this Bowman's capsule, that means it is not lies near to this Bowman's capsule, it is away from this Bowman's capsule, that is known as distal convoluted tubule. And a bending portion, U-turn like structure, U-turn like structure, bending portion or U-turn like structure, that is known as loop of Henle. This U-turn shaped structure, that is known as loop of Henle. So these three part forms the renal tubule. Then the last part of nephron, that is known as collecting duct. So collecting duct means that is a duct which collect the secretion, final secretion from this nephron or from this distal convoluted tubule. Okay, during the process of urine formation, absorption process, absorption of secretion process, absorption of useful substances. Okay, firstly filtration takes place from this Bowman's capsule, then absorption of useful substances takes place from this tubule PCT and DCT. Then at the end part of this distal convoluted tubule, secretion process, that means the finally end product of this excretion, that means the urine or the end product or the waste material, the substance which have to remove from the body, that is removed or secreted to this collecting duct. So collecting duct, it collect the secretion from these tubules. So that is known as collecting duct. So these three part together makes the structure of nephron. And this is the figure which shows the structure of nephron. Okay, enlarged view of nephron. So nephron consists of small tubes or blood vessels. That one is known as afferent arteriole and another one that is known as efferent arteriole. Like renal artery and renal vein, this afferent arteriole, it carry oxygenated blood to this nephron. And efferent arteriole means it carry blood away from nephron. Clear? Afferent arteriole which carry blood to this Bowman's capsule or blood to the nephron. Then efferent arteriole means that blood vessel which carry blood from this nephron or blood from Bowman's capsule to blood vessels, efferent arteriole as well as afferent arteriole. Then glomerulus. Glomerulus means these richly supplied blood capillaries. Okay, that group of blood capillaries, richly supplied blood capillaries, that is known as glomerulus. So this blood capillary or glomerulus that is present inside this Bowman's capsule. Bowman's capsule means it is a cup-shaped structure. Bowman's capsule means it is a cup-shaped structure, and glomerulus or blood vessels that is located inside that cup-shaped structure. So Bowman's capsule means this yellow color part, this cup-shaped part, and glomerulus which is located inside the Bowman's capsule. Clear? Then glomerulus as well as this Bowman's capsule, they together known as the first part of nephron, that is known as Malpighian body. Okay, Malpighian body means it consists of these two parts. Which one? Bowman's capsule, cup-shaped structure, glomerulus, that means blood vessels. Okay, blood capillaries. So glomerulus and Bowman's capsule, they together form Malpighian body. Clear? Then Bowman's capsule, it continue downward as a long tube. It continue downward as a long tube, and it is known as proximal convoluted tubule. Proximal convoluted tubule. So this proximal convoluted tubule means it is located or just near to this Bowman's capsule. Or Bowman's capsule, it continue as a long tubular structure, that is known as proximal convoluted tubule. And this proximal convoluted tubule, it leads to another part or another U-shaped structure or U-turn like structure. That U-shaped structure, it is known as loop of Henle. Look at the figure, this U-shaped structure, this U-shaped structure. Okay, this U-shaped structure or U-turn like structure, that is known as loop of Henle. Then this loop of Henle, it continue as a smaller tube, that is known as distal convoluted tubule. And this distal convoluted tubule, it is far from, look at the figure, this is Bowman's capsule, and proximal convoluted tubule that lies just near to Bowman's capsule. On the other hand, distal convoluted tubule that is far from Bowman's capsule. Okay, or we can say that ascending limb as well, ascending limb, this is the ascending limb because it is coming up. Then descending limb means that is coming downward. So distal convoluted tubule means that is located just far from this Bowman's capsule. And this distal convoluted tubule, this folded structure, it leads to another tubular structure which is known as the last part, which is known as collecting duct, which collect the secretion which comes from this distal convoluted tubule after the process of removal of waste. So that excretory product or urine or the excretory product that is collected by collecting duct, and it moves to ureter, and ureter carry that to urinary bladder, and from urinary bladder at the time of urination, urethra carries that urine out. Clear? So this is the structure of a nephron. Once again I will repeat it. Two blood vessels, afferent arteriole which brings blood to Bowman's capsule or nephron, then efferent arteriole which brings blood away from this Bowman's capsule or away from nephron. Then this cup-shaped structure that is known as Bowman's capsule, and blood vessel, blood capillary that is known as glomerulus. Bowman's capsule and glomerulus, they together form Malpighian body, which is known as the first part. This part is known as the first part of nephron. Then second part that is known as the renal tubule. Renal tubule consists of proximal convoluted tubule, second part loop of Henle, third part that is distal convoluted tubule. Then proximal convoluted tubule, that is a long tubular structure which lies just near the Bowman's capsule. Then it is coming downward and forms a U-shaped structure. That tubular structure is known as loop of Henle, and it is coming upward, ascending part. of this loop of Henle, it forms distal convoluted tubule, and a distal convoluted tubule that leads to a duct system that is known as collecting duct. Clear? Then at the time of formation of urine, the main process takes place that is known as filtration, absorption and secretion. Three important processes takes place at the time of formation of urine, that is filtration, absorption and secretion process. So the main function of this Bowman's capsule, main function of this Bowman's capsule, that is filtration. So the filtration of the substances that it takes place from this cup shaped structure, okay, and that is known as Bowman's capsule. Clear? Then after the filtration process, the substance which comes to this proximal convoluted tubule, now that substance, after the filtration process, that substance is known as glomerular filtrate. Glomerular filtrate. The substance that comes, or the substance that is formed after the filtration process, that is known as glomerular filtrate. So the filtration process, during filtration process, the filtration of substances takes place. The useful substances or the filtration of substances takes place. That means the larger molecules, they may get, or that will collected inside this cup shaped structure, and the smaller substances or the smaller particles that will move downward. Clear? Then from this proximal convoluted tubule, the absorption process, the absorption of useful substances like glucose, amino acid, some salt. So the absorption of useful substances that it takes place from this proximal convoluted tubule, then further absorption that it takes place from this loop of Henle, then the further absorption that it takes place from some part of this distal convoluted tubule. So almost all the useful substances are absorbed from this part, and it is returned to blood. Useful substances are returned to blood. Then the secretion process, from this part the secretion process takes place, and after the excretion process or after the removal of waste material, clear, or after the absorption process of, or the absorption of useful substances, the unwanted substance like urine or urea or other harmful substances, creatinine, okay, or some harmful substances, or these harmful substances or toxic substances that are secreted out to this collecting duct, and this collecting duct, it collect harmful substances or the waste from this part, and now it is carried to ureter, then it get collected to urinary bladder, and it is excreted out through urethra. So this is the overall view or a structure, enlarged view of nephron or the different part of nephron. Then next, the process of urine formation. Process of urine formation. How does the process of urine formation takes place? The process of urine formation that involves three main steps. One is ultrafiltration, and second one that is selective reabsorption, third one that is known as secretion. So first process that is ultrafiltration, second process that is selective reabsorption, and third process that is secretion. Clear? So the process of urine formation that involves filtration process, that is known as ultrafiltration. Then after ultrafiltration, selective reabsorption takes place, selective reabsorption of useful substances, and the third process that is a secretion process, secretion of waste material. So ultrafiltration means during ultrafiltration, the blood that enters in the glomerulus, glomerulus means that blood vessel, blood capillary, and filtrate the liquid part of the blood, and filtrate the liquid part of the blood. And this filtration process that mainly takes place inside this Bowman's capsule. Inside Bowman's capsule. So, glomerulus and Bowman's capsule, they plays important role in the filtration process. And the liquid part of blood that is filtrate So the larger molecule that is collected inside this Bowman's capsule and the smaller substances or smaller particles that will move downward to proximal convoluted tubule. And after this ultrafiltration, that substance that is known as that filtrate is known as glomerular. It is known as, after the filtration process, that filtration is known as glomerular filtrate. So that is the first step. Then second step, that is known as the selective reabsorption, or simply we can say that reabsorption. Reabsorption of useful substances which are necessary for body maintenance, that is amino acids, glucose. Okay, amino acids, glucose and some useful ions. Okay, amino acids, glucose, then some ions, and all these useful substances are reabsorbed by blood capillaries. And this reabsorption process that mainly takes place from PCT, proximal convoluted tubule, then another part, loop of Henle, and DCT. DCT means some part of DCT that also associated with absorption process. Then finally the secretion process takes place. So secretion of waste material from the end part of this DCT to collecting duct. So the collecting duct collects the waste material which are secreted out during the process of last stage of urine formation, that is known as secretion process. So these are the three important processes that results in the formation of urine. So first one, ultrafiltration, filtration of substance takes place, and now that is known as glomerular filtrate. And further the useful substances or that filtrate, from that filtrate the useful substances like amino acid, glucose and useful ions, that is reabsorbed from the part of PCT, proximal convoluted tubule, loop of Henle, as well as from the part of distal convoluted tubule. Clear? Then last stage, that is the secretion of waste material, creatine, urea and such kinds of waste material or the toxic substances that are secreted out, and it is collected by this collecting duct. Then it moves to ureter, then urinary bladder, it is stored inside the urinary bladder, and from urinary bladder at the time of excretion, the urine that is excreted out through urethra. Then now let's discuss how does the regulation of urine formation takes place, or formation of urine, how does it get regulated. So it is mainly associated with a particular hormone which is known as ADH. ADH means antidiuretic hormone. ADH means antidiuretic hormone. The main function of this ADH or antidiuretic hormone, they mainly helps in the reabsorption of water. ADH, or the main function of antidiuretic hormone, the main function reabsorption of water. Main function, that is reabsorption of water. So two situation is there. One is deficiency of water, and second situation, that is excess of water. So if there is deficiency of water in our body, then what will happen? Pituitary gland, okay, pituitary gland, it concerned with the release of ADH or antidiuretic hormone. Pituitary gland, that is endocrine gland, and pituitary gland will release ADH or antidiuretic hormone. And the main function of ADH, that is they helps in the reabsorption of water. So when pituitary gland release ADH, then what will happen? More water, more ADH means more absorption of water. More water is absorbed from the filtrate. Okay, absorbed from the filtrate or absorbed from glomerular filtrate. Clear? Because more ADH means ADH main function, it is related with absorption or the reabsorption of water. So more the ADH or antidiuretic hormone, then they helps in more absorption of water from the filtrate. So what will happen? More water is absorbed from the filtrate, and on the other hand, the amount of urine that is produced, it become decreased. Okay, more amount of water is absorbed, and as a result of that, what will happen to the urine, or what will happen to this concentration of urine? This urine that produced is decreased, or less amount of urine is produced. Clear? Then the second condition, that is excess of water. If there is excess of water in our body, then just opposite to the secretion of ADH, pituitary gland stops the secretion of ADH. So due to the stoppage of the secretion of ADH, so there is less amount of water that absorbed, less water is absorbed from filtrate. So if less amount of water is absorbed from the filtrate, so what will happen? More water is present in urine. So the urine means, so the what will happen to the urine, amount of urine? More urine is released, or more urine is produced. Clear? So first condition, due to deficiency of water, or less amount of water in the body, then pituitary gland, it secrete ADH. So ADH hormone, they helps to absorb more water from that filtrate. So the amount of urine that become very less. Then if there is excess of water in our body, so what will happen? Pituitary gland stops the secretion of ADH, or only less amount of ADH is secreted. So due to which, or due to less amount of ADH, only less amount of water is absorbed from filtrate. So more amount of water is present in the urine. So now the amount of urine that is increased.